Hey guys, Dirk here from Intelligent Cryptocurrency. Quick update. This company, Microstrategy, has literally bought more than $1 billion worth of Bitcoin over the last few months. This is absolutely insane. This is a publicly listed company that has bought more than $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, right? I think they're leading the train towards something much, much bigger. Now, very recently, just yesterday, actually, Michael Saylor, who's the CEO of MicroStrategy, he just did an update that they purchased an additional 650 million. Okay, so in total, they hold 70,470 Bitcoin purchased for 1.125 billion at an average price of almost $16,000 per Bitcoin. Now, the $650 million that they put into this, I think it was the money they raised from a convertible note that they announced very recently. They put this money into Bitcoin according to their treasury policy, and they bought this at almost $22,000. So with the price of Bitcoin right now being about $23,000, where is it at? It's 22,888 as I'm making this right now. So yeah, I mean, it went up to just over 24, but this is the price that it's at. This is where they bought $650 million worth of Bitcoin. So let me ask you, what does this say about the price of Bitcoin? If they're willing to put this much money on the line in Bitcoin above 20,000, does that mean that they think it's going to go to zero, or that they think it's going to end up being worthless, or that they think even that it might be a top? Sure, it could be a short-term top. They're investing with a longer-term time frame, but their expectation is obviously that they're expecting Bitcoin to be worth at least what they're putting in, if not much, much more over the coming years and decades, right? So this is absolutely a big stamp of approval, in my opinion. And with Bitcoin trading at these prices, 23, 24,000, I'm just getting message after message, like everywhere on Instagram and in my DMs and everything. And people are just asking, should I buy Bitcoin now? Should I buy Bitcoin now? Should I buy Bitcoin now? Right? Everyone is just wondering, should you buy Bitcoin? And look, there's this cartoon, I don't know who it belongs to, but it sums up perfectly what people, like the psychology of people, right? Bitcoin at 4,000, do you want to buy it? Nah. Buy it at 9,000? Nah. Buy it at 16,000? Nah. At coming to $30,000, right? We're at 24,000, call it 30,000. And all of a sudden, everyone wants to buy Bitcoin. And when it goes to 40, 50, $100,000, when even now it's $23,000, there's going to be people who aren't buying it now because they think it's too expensive. And then it gets to 50K or higher, and they're going to want to buy Bitcoin. Like, it's human psychology. It tricks you. It is completely counterintuitive. Hopefully, if you've been following my channel, you've been loading up in the low phases of Bitcoin. You can see over here, you can go and check this on my channel. April 19th, 2019, I said owning one Bitcoin might be the best financial decision of your life. At this point in time, Bitcoin was trading at about $5,500. Okay, if you're not subscribed to my channel yet, click that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, because I'm putting out this content in real time, doing my best to really provide you with the best research and analysis. I've been in the space for a long time, and the best time to invest is when prices are low, when nobody wants it, right? Going back to this cartoon, the 4,000, the 9,000, that is when you gotta go contrary to the herd. When nobody's believing in it, that's when you get in, because that's when your possible returns are the highest, right? We're at 24,000. Could it go to 50? Absolutely, right? Could it go to 100, 200, 500,000? Maybe one day in future, right? Maybe it'd still be cheap today. But obviously, the higher it goes and the more people that want to buy it, the lower your potential returns are. So you always want to be looking for those asymmetric bets, contrary to the popular herd opinion, contrary to the sentiment, right? The saying is, you want to buy when there's blood in the streets. So basically, that was a little bit of a tangent, but really bullish here. MicroStrategy, over $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. What does that say about the future going forward? And if you're thinking, Bitcoin is expensive at $23,000, yes, it's expensive because it's the highest it's ever been, and compared to 4,000 where it was earlier this year. But once it goes to 100K, it'll look cheap in comparison, right? That's always the trade-off that you got to make. But there were still altcoins, guys. I've been saying this for the last few months. Altcoins at some point are going to really outperform Bitcoin, in my opinion, and I believe that that is the bet to make, right? Bitcoin is up a lot, but people still aren't interested in altcoins, and that's the exact sentiment you want to be paying attention in. Everyone is Bitcoin. Almost no one's like Ethereum, other altcoins, Icon, there's a lot of different coins out there that are still low, that are still down like 90% from their all-time high. Once they start playing catch up and they start going a few 100% or 1,000% or more, what do you think is going to happen? And then you're going to be in that same position that most people are in with Bitcoin, right? They haven't bought Bitcoin. Bitcoin just pumped to $23,000, $24,000. And now everyone's wondering, oh, should I buy Bitcoin? It's just pumped so much, right? Well, you should have bought before the time. We have that same situation coming with altcoins, I believe. So altcoins, people are not really that interested in them, like I've just said, and they're still cheap. But once they pump 10x or 20x, and they're all of a sudden very expensive compared to where they are now, then a lot of people are going to be like, oh, I wish I would have bought earlier, right? I just showed you also back in 2019, I made that video about Bitcoin. It was $5,500. How many people really bought when I was making those videos, right? So again, I can't give you financial advice. I'm just sharing my opinion and my experience here with these markets. And it's a matter of time. Like these markets and the rich people take money from the impatient and give them to the patient, right? So if you're patient, if you're willing to be contrarian, if you're willing to do the research, get into projects that you believe in, even though the price is not reflected, that is when it'll end up paying off in a big time, or potentially at least anyway. There's always a risk, right? But because of the asymmetric nature of cryptocurrencies, you risk what you're putting in, right? So if you're willing to put in $1,000, you're willing to risk $1,000, the worst that can happen is that $1,000 goes to zero, right? But if you're right, on the upside, that $1,000 could turn into 20, 30, 50, $100,000, maybe even much, much more. There's been examples with altcoins where it goes way more than 100x. Perfect example was this year with the cryptocurrency called LEND, which is now known as AVE. From the lows back in 2019, it did more than a 200x, meaning if you would have put $1,000 into LEND at those lows, it could have turned into more than $200,000, right? That is the asymmetric nature of crypto. And with everything that's been happening, I've been making these videos for months and months and months now already. I've been doing this for years already, actually. But the last month specifically, I've been sharing my insights here, and I think this is going to go way higher. I mean, we have banks offering crypto services. We have PayPal offering crypto to everyone. We have publicly listed companies buying more than $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. Mass Mutual was another one that bought over 100 million. We're starting to see funds and asset managers and CEOs put up to 10% of their money in Bitcoin or Bitcoin exposure, right? What do you think that is going to do for the digital asset and cryptocurrency space, right? Combine that with the other technical analysis, the cycles, the 4-year Bitcoin halvings, where every 4 years Bitcoin tends to have a massive bull run and a peak, at least from the last 2 cycles that we've had, right? We had a massive boom, peaked in 2013. We had a massive boom, peaked in 2017. Next year is 2021. So add 4 years to 2017, and that gives you the 4-year cycle. So based on those previous cycles and all the fundamental stuff that's happening and companies buying $1 billion worth of Bitcoin, we are very much on track to looking like 2021 is going to be another enormous year for Bitcoin and cryptocurrencies, and that we will hopefully get that repeat of that boom. And once again, the cycles are going to repeat, right? People aren't interested until it starts booming, until we're in the euphoria and the mania phase. And yes, that's when things start going crazy and move a lot, but that's when the biggest gains have already been made, and that's when a lot of people get trapped in towards buying towards the top. And maybe they get some gains, but if they don't cash out on those gains, they get that 50, 60, 70, 80% drop in the bear market that follows. So now is the time to be paying attention, to position yourself if you haven't done so already. Of course, not financial advice. Make your own decisions, just sharing this information with you to help you make better decisions. And that's pretty much it for me today, guys. So I'm very, very bullish for the next year moving forward. Obviously, there's no guarantees, but it is looking very good. And in my opinion, I think we're in for a very profitable 2021. So smash that like button, guys. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. And leave a comment with your thoughts. What do you think is going to happen in 2021? What are your favorite altcoins? I'd love to know. If there's any projects that you think have a lot of potential, drop them in the comments below. I'll check them out. Maybe I'll make a video review on them if I do end up liking the project. And of course, if you want to follow me on Twitter or Instagram, we want to join our free Discord chat groups. There's daily news updates in there every single day. The links are in the description below, so feel free to check that out. Smash, subscribe, leave a comment, and I will see you in the next video. Peace.